Right, new vlog, let's go. I'm trying to get sort of motivated to film again and just keeping the momentum going, just keeping it moving, and obviously it becomes more comfortable and, you know, just actually ends up being a decent vlog most of the time. So now gonna go train with my brother. So plan today is not a huge session. It's about now 4 o'clock. Gym shuts at 6 because it's a Saturday, which is a shame, but regardless, I've still got a couple hours, which is absolutely fine. I'm not having a heap of pre-workout today. I've just had a coffee and a Monster, so that should do me. I've got a big session tomorrow as well, so that's why I'm sort of leaving a bit in the tank for that. And what I mean by that is muscle group wise, I'm just going to be fatiguing only like 1 or 2 muscle groups and leaving a lot of volume for tomorrow. But obviously intensity is always going to be 10 out of 10. I'm actually looking super brown after that holiday, which is nice. So I do want to get a couple photos in a nice pair of joggers that I've got as well. I think that'll look good. Check the pump at the end. And yeah, today I have been editing a YouTube video, which has been really good. So I'm gonna upload that one tonight. That'll already be up here. The only problem I'm having at the moment is I'm editing on my phone because I just prefer to edit on CapCut, and I'm still vlogging on my phone as well. So there's no point in me like offloading it to a laptop and then being forced to only edit if I've got my laptop there. Whereas with my phone, I can just do it, you know, if I'm on the train, if I'm waiting. So that's why I've actually been able to like post them quite frequently. Obviously I'm trying to get more consistent with it, but you know, having it as like a sort of side hustle, or just, you know, a side project, something that I enjoy doing, versus like it's not my main, you know, career wise, then you know, I'm trying to do it as best I can. But yeah, the only problem I'm having is that it takes a long time to upload the videos, and I'm not able to use my phone when that's happening because you have to keep the app open. So I think I might just try and airdrop the file to my iPad, and then that way I can just get on with it. Anyway, not interesting at all, but obviously just something to think about in case any of you guys are starting to film. You don't need a lot of tech at all. Like, I'm literally doing this all on just an iPhone, but just something to think about, you know, if you are wanting to use your phone or be sort of work out the logistics. I was thinking as well, when I go traveling, you know, what am I going to do in terms of, am I going to edit on my phone or etc.? What am I going to bring with me? But yeah, so I think today my brother said the only thing he can't train definitely is back. So I'm going to do back tomorrow. I absolutely destroyed my hamstrings yesterday. Like, they are in absolute bits. That vlog will be out as well before this one, but crazy intensity on that one. So obviously quads are waiting to be thrashed, but I do have like a really bad pain come up on my right hip flexor, which I think is from controlling the weight down on the controlling the weight back up on the seated hamstring curl. So I've been drilling that with a massage gun yesterday, and I was feeling a lot better than it did, but still not like primed and ready to train. And obviously because lower body I can just completely push to failure, I don't want to have any like interruptions. So if I have to sort of push quads back 2 days, I'm not going to train tomorrow, but if I have to push it back to Monday, then I'd rather obviously focus on what I can do today and push it to the limit. So I think push it to the limit, Scarface. So yeah, anyway, let's get into it now. So this morning I've had 5 white chocolate cookies. I've had a bowl of pasta with breaded chicken and like mozzarella, tomatoes, sort of like a chicken parm. And I've had 2 Twixes and a coffee. So decent, to be fair, like good carbs, good fats, bit of protein in the chicken there. And yeah, just ready to get into it really. So like I said, not going to be taking any pre-workout specifically for this session. I do feel like I've had a good amount of caffeine already, and yeah, just want to absolutely smash it. So let's get into it. I'll probably get my brother to film a few clips because like most of the stuff I've been doing has been on a tripod. So again, just to switch it up a little bit, and yeah, just see how we get on. Okay, that was a decent session. I literally just did shoulders and abs. So I did seated lateral raises, did 5 sets of those, and did 3 sets of single arm cable raises, which to some of you might seem excessive to do that much for my side delts. But if you can imagine, if you have the ability to do a heavy shoulder press, and if you do shoulders in a push session, for example, you're going to be getting a lot of shoulder fatigue and basically burning out the muscle that way. Obviously with me only be able to do these accessories, I have to accommodate for the volume elsewhere. That's obviously why I'm doing slightly different methodology. So obviously I wouldn't say this might apply to everyone. Then again, you could use aspects of this in your training if you want to. So did that, and then I've just done 3 sets of crunches as well on the ab machine. So at the moment I've maxed out the machine on this one. So what I'm doing, because I basically don't want my strength to get ahead of my ability to build muscle, I'm literally just going up by 1 rep each session. And then when I get to the point of probably 3 sets of 20, what I'll do is I'll try and slide some weights in the machine, but obviously that's very tedious. And then again, that can only last so long. So trying to keep that going for as long as possible. But obviously I do want to be training abs while I'm still in a lean bulk right now, because that is probably one of my biggest weaknesses. So abs was good, and then went on and did calves again. So I'm trying to do calves now at least 3 times a week, 4 sets. So that's like at least 12 sets of calves a week, which now I'm saying it doesn't even seem like that much. So that might be need to ramp it up a bit, but I find if I do 5 by the 5th set, I'm just not really focused anymore. So for now, 4 is good. I do think you probably could get away with doing calves every day once you get used to it. So once I then get in the rhythm of that, I might start to do it perhaps 4 times a week. So I'll push the training volume up to 16 sets a week. And probably maximum I'll do is maybe 5 sessions a week, 4 sets, which would be about sort of 20 sets per week, but we'll see anyway. And then, yeah, that was pretty good. So quick physique update. Haven't really got much of a fit on today, just got a Gasp Ambassador top, which is quite nice. And then I've got some Gasp as well. I'll quickly show you now. So just these Gasp camo bottoms, which are really nice. They've got zip pockets as well. And then these, I think they're Nike Shocks, Kappa socks. Still got a little bit of a residual calf pump. As you can see, I just want to kind of bring them up a little bit. But yeah, legs are looking good as well. So obviously it's pretty much just going to be side delts here and a bit of core as well. But see if I can move the camera down a bit. Right, so let's have a quick look. So this morning I was 229 pounds, so I'm still hovering at that 230 mark. But again, I'm not looking to push calories too much at the moment, just until I get the next x-rays done. Obviously not going to have any lat pump or anything like that, so feeling quite narrow, but definitely core feels pumped. And you can see still got those striations, so I'm kind of gauging my leanness off obviously when I do train the muscle group, how lean is it looking, because my daily calorie intake is quite regimented and the same, and also my meal times are quite similar. So in terms of like how full I'm looking, that's kind of gonna stay the same. So I'm planning on doing a YouTube series that's gonna probably start on the 1st of June. That's gonna be when I've sort of got the all clear to start really training again. And I'm going to come up with a new training plan, and I'm going to completely redo my whole nutrition plan and my approach to that. So I am going to be pushing a really heavy bulk this time, like quite an aggressive bulk, but it will be very much regimented, tracked, and the food choices that I'm going to use are going to be a lot different. So sort of a personal experiment, also just a bit of fun for YouTube, and then the training that I'm going to be doing as well is going to be very different. So still going to have bodybuilding for sure, and like that sort of training is still going to stay because I do enjoy that, but there's going to be a lot more sort of strength and functional training, which I'm going to do like in the AM sessions. So I'm going to probably be training twice a day. But yeah, I just think it'd be really cool to document and have another challenge still while I'm waiting for the wrist to recover, because I still can't train sort of what you would call conventional, traditional strength training quite a lot of the time. Obviously things in the gym, so I'm just trying to make equipment at home or come up with different alternatives that will still let me grow and have fun with my training and not just be stuck doing the same accessory movements. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, and I'm really excited to get going with it. I'm all finished with that session there. That was a good one. Obviously, I feel like I always just say it was a good one, but it was genuinely a good one. I don't often have bad sessions, to be honest, and you shouldn't really be having bad sessions, really. And if you do, should be a reason for it, and to be honest, you should be able to fix that reason quite easily. Obviously if you've got injuries and stuff like that, that's different, but then even still you should be able to switch your program around a little bit and make it work for you. So yeah, most of the time, I'd say 99% of the time the sessions are really good. You get the odd one which is just exceptional, but at the moment that is kind of hard to come by, just because a lot of the stuff I'm doing is monotonous and I don't really have big jumps in strength. But that's not to say that I don't enjoy it, and obviously I'm trying to look at it in a different way and not just go for the typical sort of the same, I'm not trying to get the same thing out of my training every week when it obviously has to change. So yeah, that was good. So tomorrow I've got a big session tomorrow. So we're gonna hit some back, which will be good. A lot of rear delts, probably 6 or 7 sets of those. A little bit of vertical rows, pull downs, and a little bit of horizontal rows with a single arm pull through on the machine. So that'll be good. Obviously I'll take you through that maybe, but I'm gonna be training with my mate tomorrow, so I don't want to be filming every single set. But this is something which I'm trying to get better at, and obviously I know for some people they might think the training's really interesting. Other people, cool, I look super ginger here. Other people might think that the training's just really boring and, you know, it's too long, etc. So obviously it's hard to know exactly what to put in there, but I think I'm just going to do what I enjoy, and then that way people can either watch it or they won't. So my training, like I said, next month in June is going to be a lot more regimented, and it's going to be the first time in a long time which I've actually tried to kind of like aggressively put on weight and muscle. And the reason that I'm wanting to do this is just because I want to build up strength in other areas that I can't do in the gym. So I sort of talked a little bit about that a minute ago. Basically, just the machinery at the gym is obviously kind of designed to be the most like efficient for most people. So it's quite, you know, one size fits all, and sometimes it can just be training the muscle sort of to look bigger, and obviously rather than sort of functional strength, which to be honest I haven't got a problem with at all. But again, when all of that stuff, or most of that stuff, I'm not able to do, I'm not able to use sort of as comfortably as other people, I think it's better for me to look at certain alternatives rather than just cut that training off altogether. So if I can look to do that sort of stuff, and then also, you know, just doing something else, something a bit more taxing, or something that might tax different areas of the body or in a different way, I think can be really interesting and probably can give me a bit of a motivational boost, because obviously your mentality towards training is gonna definitely affect the actual outcome. So if you can enjoy it more, and if you can sort of see more benefits from it and more growth, then obviously that's gonna encourage you to go harder and for longer. So that's my premise there. And also I just think I'll really enjoy it. It's a new challenge. I can potentially use some of these training techniques on clients that might have, you know, functional goals, whether that be to go into the military, special forces, you know, RAF fitness tests, or just general everyday fitness, stuff like that. Might be for a certain job or whatever. So that will help my learning and understanding as well. And then also just for like content creation. So I'm not just trying to like change my training for the sole purpose of content, but if that's sort of an added bonus, which again I'm not getting from, if I'm not getting that satisfaction from just filming my regular sets, if it's just the same rotation of, for example, like pretty much right now I'm only doing around like 6 or 7 exercises per week, and that includes like all muscle groups. So obviously I'm getting quite bored of filming that, regardless of what other people think. Therefore it makes me believe like that this might, you know, boost it up a little bit and probably give a bit more, you know, insight into training, rather than just the typical, right, here's 5 sets of calf raises, which obviously, you know, everyone can do probably. So yeah, that's my thoughts there. And like I said as well, with it being summer and, you know, being out in the garden and stuff like that, be able to get tan, be a bit more active, cardio will be good as well, which again, I'm not trying to lose weight or cut weight or be a marathon runner, but if I can have decent level of cardio, I think that will obviously be beneficial for overall health. But also when I do eventually go back to doing lifts such as squats and hack squats, things which do require a lot of oxygen and are very taxing on the whole system, that will then be an added benefit. And again, it will stop me reaching failure from those aspects, such as my cardiovascular endurance versus my leg endurance or my leg strength. So yeah, other things to mention as well. So my diet at the moment, I'm on fixed calories, but I do vary what I eat every day. Whereas this, I'm going to very much plan the week's meals, and like, this is what I have roughly this time. Especially being an online coach completely now and having more freedom to work from home, you know, I have a lot more say over when I have my meals, and obviously I can dictate if I want to eat this time, or if I don't want to go and do this, you know, at this certain time. I can structure my day how I want to, and I have the ability to do that. So that's obviously ideal. So everything is sort of just leaning towards this being the right time to try it, and yeah, just really excited to see what I can do. So, but overall, it is just gonna hopefully help my development of my body and my physique and my mentality. So it shouldn't draw away from my bodybuilding training. And to be honest, when I started training, I actually never really wanted to just get as big as possible. I'd say I probably train like 70% for strength and then 30% for aesthetics, whereas obviously now it's completely changed and I'm pretty much only just training to like maintain muscle mass. There's not really many strength goals, there's not really many like physique goals. Like at the moment I'm just trying to sort of grow my legs, because that is the only thing which I can sort of see the difference in week by week, or month by month. But obviously again, even that's quite slow, because there's many things that I can't currently do. So anyway, still super grateful to be able to do what I can do, and I'm definitely not trying to go with a victim mentality, which is why I'm trying to sort of change my training. And again, I've talked about this in the previous vlogs, but definitely something to mention. Obviously, if you're not satisfied with your current situation, there's no point in just constantly waiting around for something to change. I'm seeing certain things, like certain lifts, improve in the gym, but it's not at the rate that I am satisfied with. So instead of just sitting there moaning and potentially just letting the days go by and potentially missing the odd gym session because motivation's gone down, instead I'm making a change and obviously going back to the drawing board, thinking, right, what can I do, what do I want to achieve, and how can I get there in the best way possible without impacting and having a negative effect on my recovery. So yeah, just gonna document that as much as possible. And I think for some people that are either going through injury or getting bored with their training, or need this sort of training in their life for whatever reason, job, career or hobby, it could be really good for you guys. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. Obviously it's going to take me like a few weeks to plan. I'm gonna have to go make sure I've got all the proper equipment. Going to be filming some of it in my garden, going to do some training in my nan's garden, so going in the garages, getting like all sorts of stuff that I can help sort of make these these objects or these things that I need to do the training. Because obviously some of it is going to be very much like just sort of jerry-rigged and just not a typical standard setup. So yeah, hopefully it goes well, and I'm really excited to get it going. I'm sure there'll be some days where it'll be pouring with rain, some days where I won't want to do it, but overall it should be a good challenge. And I think, again, just another aspect to physical fitness that I haven't completed yet. So yeah, let's get to it. So I've reloaded on quite a few snacks and goodies to try and just get my calories up quite a bit. So currently on 4,200 calories, which is not a lot for me. I know for some people that might seem like a lot, but obviously that's still a decent amount. So I am able to just get loads of that in from just carbs and fats, sweets, treats, all that sort of stuff. I don't have a problem with getting my food in that way. If you get a stomachache or you get bad skin or any of that stuff, then obviously, do your own research and worry about yourself. But for me, I'm absolutely fine eating this sort of stuff. Majority of all of my protein, so my 1 gram per pound of body weight, will come from lean animal sources. So poultry, fish, chicken, turkey, anything like that. But all the rest of it, just when I'm trying to boost the calories up and actually put on muscle mass, I'll just get it from anywhere. So yeah, I'll just quickly show you a few bits I bought. So we got some donuts. These are just single sugar donuts, but they literally don't have any sugar on, so they're not very nice. So what I do is I'll actually put cinnamon sugar on them and put them in the air fryer, so they come out like hot cinnamon donuts. These are reduced. I've got a couple packs of those, quick carbs, easy to digest. They're also good for like intra workout as well. And then got some Monsters protein shakes, got some meal deals, cookies, and then got some more reduced stuff as well. So just gonna have these with jam. Obviously each one of those probably got about 250 calories in, I'd say. Yeah, 248, that was a good guess. So those with some jam on, as you can imagine, that will just ramp the calories right up. So yeah, so some good stuff there just to get the food in. But like I say, I'm still trying to maintain a decent level of body mass here. So I don't want to be getting too fluffy, but as long as I can actually just see the tops of my abs showing through, they're clinging on for dear life. But yeah, super nice weather this week. I've been out, obviously got back from Spain on, well, super late Wednesday night, basically Thursday morning, but just been trying to get a bit of sun each day, kind of keep the tan as much as I can without having to spend money on a sunbed. I am trying to sort of save money somewhat at the moment, just because I've got a few things that I want to put money into and invest. So whether that be like the business or just stuff that I want to buy for myself. So yeah, just trying to be a bit more sort of smart and methodical what I spend my money on. For example, sunbed definitely always makes you feel better, but if I can get it from natural sun, then obviously that's ideal. It's going to be a bit healthier as well. So yeah, now I'm going to go cook up. Tonight I'm going to have burgers. So burgers, more good food there. and gonna get some ice cream as well. So calories gonna be super high as usual, but just where they should be, not too high, not too low. Whew. Meal number, I don't know what, but this looks insane. We got 4 massive chicken burgers here with brioche buns, cheese, tomatoes, lettuce, all sorts of stuff. So I'm now gonna have this. I've had 2 cinnamon donuts, gonna have 3 more. Got some gherkins, and then yeah, that'll be it for now. And I had a meal deal earlier, was chicken bacon wrap with a protein shake and a caramel salted protein bar. This is my cat, Leonidas. He's so fucking naughty. Aren't you, mate? Who's that? But yeah, he's absolutely beautiful, as you can see. He's got spots and stripes on him. Crazy.